thought that I was at some kind of restaurant, and I was getting ready to leave the restaurant, and I dilly-dallied a little while longer than I probably should have. And by the time I left, I walked out, and there were, as I was going to my car, there was this group of people that were ambushing everybody that was coming out of the restaurant and like taking them hostage. And I ended up hiding, I think under a bush or something, but I ended up hiding and not being found. And as I was there under that bush, I said I should have left earlier, I should have left sooner. And then I woke up and it startled me. But then I didn't think anything else about it. And so Friday night going into Saturday morning, I had a similar dream where I was at this, again, I was at a gathering at a home. And the same, I called them thugs as I was writing everything out, the same group of people came into the home, ambushed everybody, and threatened to kill, threatened to take them hostage, whatever. And I ended up hiding under a bed. And they were going from room to room and trying to gather people up, and I wasn't found. And something within me told me, you don't need to hide anymore. Let them know who you are. So I got out from under the bed and I made myself known. And with all the chaos and the commotion, I was able to get out of the house. Unscathed, unhurt, unharmed, but I was able to get out of the house. And as the day went on, evening came, and there was this group of people that started coming towards me that I knew from a church that I used to go to. And actually three of them were like younger. They were younger than me at the time I was going to their church, but they were like at the same age that they were when I knew them. And they came up and they were smiling and they gave me a hug. And then one of the church mothers, she was known as a missionary at that time, but she elevated to church mother. So anyway, she came up and she gave me this big embrace. And she's since passed on, so she's part of the ancestor realm right now. But in my dream, she didn't embrace me and I was Kojic at the time. So, all the hallelujah, God bless you, praise the Lord, all those kind of greetings that you get when you come together with each other. And when she embraced me and she hugged me, she told me it was good to see me, but she said none of those other statements that we would always say, God bless you, mother, bless you, and all this stuff. None of that. She just gave me this warm embrace, told me she was glad to see me, and that was it. And so at some point, I went back in the house, and the gathering was going on again, but it wasn't my vibe, and I knew, I didn't need to be there, so I ended up leaving, and then I woke up. And I was intrigued by the fact that out of all the people that came to me in that dream, it was her. And so I went into my sacred space in my temple and I began to meditate and I started to ponder. So I reached out to my ancestors because I wanted answers. I'm like, well, why didn't my mother come to me? Why didn't, any of my grandparents or any of my aunts or uncles who were on the other side come to me? Why did this particular lady come to me? And I wrote it all down, but just to sum it all up, I recognized that as I was divining and trying to figure it all out, that she was sent to me because my mother has come to me in several recent dreams, but I didn't pay attention. And it was because, to me, I felt like I knew I was going down home. I was going to visit her at the cemetery, and maybe that's why she was coming to me in my dream, not necessarily to give me a message or to make me aware of anything. So I kind of brushed off the reason why she herself was coming to me. So I through my pendulum and the cards, I realized that they sent her to me because seeing her, knowing who I was not expecting to see, I would pay attention to. I would pay a little bit more attention to and question why she was sending me, and then get the answer that I needed to get, or the message that they were trying to send to me. So in the midst of all of that, they answered some questions for me. They gave me some warnings. They told me some things I need to look out for. They encouraged me in some of the things that I had been doing, telling me I was on the right path and what I was doing or had done was justified, and to trust the work that I had been doing, that things that I'm looking for or expecting to happen was going to take place. So it was weird that they have never reached out to me in that way, but it was cool to know that one, I caught the my heart had finally caught the message, and caught on to what they were trying to tell me and get me to see and understand. And so this morning, what I would like to do with you is I would like to pull a few cards and just read the messages from the Hoodoo Tarot. And if you're not interested, or if it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. But I'm going to do for you what my ancestors did for me by sending somebody who cared about me, just to give me a message. And again, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I care enough about you that I would come on this morning and do a first time live and just give a couple of readings. So I'm a novice at reading tarot, so whatever card I pull, I'm going to read from the book, and then what I get from Spirit, I will share that as well. So the first card that I'm going to pull is the Three of Knives, but it's in reverse. So I'm going to find out where that is in the book, and I'm going to read that. And whoever the Three of Knives is for, pay attention. Right, so, all right. Three of Knives, page 122, says this. The image is that of a wounded person lying against a bottle tree with broken bottles as a stray dog urinates on their loved one's grave. The southern tradition of creating bottle trees is an Africanism from the Congo people who believed that spirits could reside in bottles. The idea was to capture any negative spirits and allow the sunlight to destroy them at dawn. The crepe myrtle tree grows throughout the South and was considered sacred by many root workers because it represents rejuvenation and God's promise to the faithful. So let me just show you the card again after I read that description. Here is the card, and it is in reverse or upside down. So this means it's a negative or maybe a warning. I don't want to equate negative to bad, but maybe it's a warning or something you need to pay attention to. So this is the Three of Knives in reverse. And if we get that, it means there's some heartbreak, or there's some emotional trauma, there's some betrayal or rejection, some devastating loss, or maybe alienation or serious disrespect. Wow, there's just a lot of basically grieving, painful endings, loneliness. So this card is saying to whoever this is for, pay attention to it. Don't try to hide it, but don't apologize for it either. See it for what it is, and then move forward. Divine, go into your closet, go to your ancestors, go to your deities, whoever you reach out to for answers in the astral, in the spiritual realm, whoever that is that you go to, seek their guidance to show you or help you realize what you need to do to get on the other side of this. It is not meant to devastate you, but it is meant to get you to pay attention, to call it what it is, to accept it for what it is, but not to hold on to it, not to make it your new baby, not to be a thing that you hold your hat on, but to see it for what it is, move on from that so that you can come out on the other side of it as strong, as powerful as you know that you are and are supposed to be. So that was card number 1. I pulled 6 cards, so I'm going to go to card number 2, and let's see what card number 2 has to say. Card number 2 is the 4 of Coins, and it's in the upright position, and this is what it looks like. 4 coins. Okay, so let's go to 4 coins and see what that one has to tell us. 4 of coins. So, I like this one. 4 coins. Let me pull it back up here. So, look at this as I read it. A man using a dowsing rod to search for gold. He is using pine crosses, goose feathers, and brimstone as charms to aid him. It was common for whites to utilize the aid of root workers to find buried treasure. So this is to find something that is buried or possibly something that is lost. So here's the meaning of the card in itself. Financial security, material gains, sound investments, inheritance, careful budgeting, living within one's means, conservatism, and saving for a rainy day. So, after reading all that, here's what I get from this card. You have been searching, and you have been searching, and you have been searching. And you've been using those, your guides, your ancestors, whoever you call upon, you have been using them to steer you in the right direction. And they are giving you that direction. Now, pay attention to it. Take it all the way to the end. Don't think you know a part of it and then stop. Go all the way. They're not going to leave you alone until you go all the way to that buried treasure, to that that financial answer, to that even some of you who are trying to put things away, and you think you can't put anything away because you're only making so much, and by the time everything is spent or by the time every bill has been paid, there's not much left to hold on to. And I believe they're saying for some of you, even that little bit that is left, just take a couple dollars from that and put it to the side. Just get a little savings account, put that $25 in there, and every month, whatever that's left, just take a portion of it. I'm not even telling you a percentage. Just take a portion. You know what that portion is for you. Just take a portion of that and put it away, and you will be amazed at how much you will have saved by the end of this year. We are starting May. You'll be surprised about how much you have by December 31st of this year, how much is left, how much you have put aside, and how much you have gained, how much you have saved, how much you have stored up for whatever it is. Maybe it's for a trip. Maybe it's just to buy something nice for yourself. Whatever it is, take heed to put that little bit aside every month from now to the end of the year, and watch that grow, watch that multiply, watch that be more than you ever thought that you could put away. And then let that challenge you for the year to come to do even more. So that is the 4 of coins. All right, next card is 2 of baskets. And this is in reverse or upside down. So let's see what the 2 of baskets has to tell us. 2 baskets. 2 of baskets. All right, I'm gonna put it back up so you can see the card as I read the description. So this says, a happy couple pose cheek to cheek. They both have a basket full of herbs. In the woman's basket is a Queen's Delight root, and in his is Satyraha. Both of these herbs are associated with keeping one's partner faithful and maintaining their interest in the relationship. So because it's upside down or in the reverse, it means there is some form of distrust, rejection, breakup, miscommunication, inconsiderate behavior, broken contracts, resentment, divorce, abuse, and incompatibility. So as we look at this card, even though it's in reverse, the description talks about a couple, but this could also mean a partnership, a business partnership, some type of contract that you've gone into with someone else or something of that sort. And I feel like this is saying that both sides have come in with their own expectations. The woman has her herbs in her basket, the man has the herbs in his basket, and they're both bringing their own expectations to this partnership, in their case, to their relationship. For you, it may just be a partnership. You want to get into business with a good friend, a close friend, a long life friend, and you guys have this idea that you want to get off the ground, and you're thinking it's a great idea to go in business together, but you're coming in with your expectation, he or she, they're coming in with their expectation, and while the passion for the ultimate goal of the business is in sync, your way about going about getting it going, or managing or executing that, is not the same. It's not on the same page. And so I feel like this card is saying, recognize that before you sign the dotted line. Recognize that before you say, I do. Recognize before you say, yeah, I'm in it. But even though you still have this little prick in your heart that's telling you, oh, you better slow down. Ask one more question. Do a little bit more research. Whatever the case may be, I feel like this card is telling you and warning you. It sounds wonderful. It sounds like the grass is already green and you don't have to worry about it doing the hard work. It's going to be hard work. And your idea of hard work and their idea of hard work to bring this together may not be the same. So have that hard conversation. Let them know. I'm not questioning you. I just want to make sure that when we go into this and we both sign this line, sign on the dotted line, that we understand the commitment we're getting into. We understand each part that we have to play in this. We understand that we are going to be we're going to have to maybe compromise in some situations. It's not going to always be my way is the highway or your way is the highway. It's going to be, we're going to have to come together and we're going to have to make it work together. We're going to equally have to get in here and push and grind. We're going to equally have to look at the numbers and be honest about them. We're going to equally have to get in here and say this is not working or this is working, but how can we tweak it to make it better? You're going to have those conversations, deep, hard conversations on the front end, because this is what's going to tell the tale once you get into this. Because if you're already fighting, if you're already breaking up, if you're already walking away from each other and you haven't signed the dotted line yet, this tells you how this is possibly going to look when you are actually physically, monetarily in this contract, in this relationship. And you say there's no going back from it. Well, if there's no going back from it, then that means you are going to have to be willing to endure to the end. And if you're already walking out on the front end, you're not ready to endure to the end. So have those hard conversations. It is not personal. This is about your survival for the both of you. It is about your livelihood for the both of you. It's about your sanity for the both of you. And most importantly, it's about your friendship or your love relationship, or whatever the case may be. Will it be able to endure this? Will it be able to endure the failure if that happens? Will it be able to endure the ups and the lows, and the high times and the low tides? Will it be able to endure all that? Yes, it's easy to say this is wonderful when you're on the high. But when things get rocky and the customers aren't coming in because the grand opening has dwindled down, and now you're waiting for those first-time customers to come back, and they may not be coming back as soon as you think they're going to come back, as you think they should come back, you have to pay attention and you have to have that conversation. Because if you think it's going to look like this all the time, then you both are tricking yourself. Whether you're getting ready for your wedding or whatever it is. If you think it's going to look like this, my husband and I will be married, is it 35 years? It'll be 35 years. And there's no way in the world I thought it would look like this. Did I want it to look like this all? We're 34 years in now. Did I want it to look like this all the time? Absolutely. But we had this a majority of the time. And we're still holding on. And we're still walking this out. And we're still going day by day, step by step. I get on his last nerve and he gets on mine. But we're still here. But I believe some of that would have been alleviated if we would have really had those hard conversations at the beginning. Instead of trying to be nice to each other, instead of trying to make sure I don't hurt your feelings and you make sure you don't hurt my feelings. No, get it all out on the table. Cry, cuss, get fuss, fight, walk away, come back, walk away, come back, do what is necessary. So by the time you actually tie that knot in whatever shape, form, or fashion it may be, you are ready for it. You are ready for whatever comes next. All right, dwelt on that a little long. Card number 4 is the garden. All right, let me find the garden. It's number 21. All right, the garden. Now let me pull it back up so you can see it as I read. The garden. All right, the garden. This is quoting Isaiah 58:11. It says, "The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in the sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail." The image. A woman is happily watering her garden. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, most Americans were farmers by trade. It was hard work, but people took great pride in knowing that the produce that fed and cured their families was grown by their own hands. For people with more resources, gardening eventually became a relaxing leisure activity that allowed them to connect with nature or express themselves creatively. Either way, whether for utilitarian or recreational purposes, the rule for a successful harvest doesn't change, which is this: mind your crops. I think this goes along with the other one, so this may be a clarifier for the other one. Mind your crop. In other words, pay attention to the details in front of you. I garden every year. We've been in our home over 20-something years. There's only one year that I did not do a garden. And every year I have done one. And I know this for a fact. If you don't mind your garden, what you are trying to grow will explode. And while it looks wonderful that you think all this growth is coming in, if you're not careful, it's going to be so much, it's going to overwhelm you. And it's going to be so much that you may suffer some loss because you should have been out there maybe the day or 2 days before to pick some of this stuff, and it's laying on the ground, and now the bugs are getting to it, and now it's starting to decay, and it's starting to not be useful for you and your family to take advantage of. Make sure you are taking care of your garden, whether it's your mate, yourself, your business that you're opening up, the job that you applied for. You said this is your dream job, you applied for it and you got it. Well, guess what? Now that you have it, you got to do the work. And whatever that work entails, you got to make it happen. Because if you don't, you're going to get, again, overwhelmed. The work is going to pile up. It's still being required of you to complete and to manage and to maintain and wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. As long as you're there, you still have to make the work happen. You still have to bring the harvest in. You got to plant the seed. You have to water it. You got to let the sun hit it. Then you got to go out there. You got to pull the weeds. You got to maintain that ground. You got to get out there. And then once you do see the produce come in, then you got to watch it for when it's ripe, the right time to pick it, the right time to pull it, the right time to clip it, the right time to take it off the vine, the right time to pull it out of the ground, whatever the case may be. You have to be on your P's and Q's. It is not just enough to get the seed in the ground or buy the plant that's already started and put it in the ground and then just expect everything to come to you. You've got to work it. You've got to till it. You've got to keep the bugs out. You got to do whatever it takes to bring forth that harvest. And then once it comes, you got to bring it in. You got to pull it in, get it into your home, prep it to store it or to freeze it or however way you're going to save it so that you can't eat it all right now, but you can prep it in a way that you can save it for the future. Pull it out of the freezer. If it's herbs, you go ahead and dry them out, put them in a jar to preserve them so that you can use them for another time. Whatever it is, that you've got to make sure you're taking care of what you have to take care of so that the end result that you want to see and you do see does not go to waste. All right, card number 5. Four of baskets, and this is in reverse. Four of baskets. All right, let me find this one. Baskets, baskets, baskets. All right, four baskets. Here's the card. Let me read the description. Sorry, here we go. A young woman is being offered just one more basket after rudely rejecting the other three. Ooh, child. Wow. Okay, the NG cufflinks belong to Neville Goddard from 1905-1972, who was one of the most important, influential New Thought voices of the 20th century. The New Thought movement emphasized the power of positive thinking and the ability of the mind to manifest whatever the seeker desired. Also referred to as the law of attraction, Neville claimed that his teacher was a turbaned black man named Abdullah, who tutored him in scripture, number mysticism, Kabbalah, and Hebrew. New Thought philosophy was incorporated into many black American spiritualist churches. Okay, so the meaning when it is in reverse means boredom, withdrawal, fatigue, dissatisfaction, apathy, lack of motivation, cataloging, regrets, feeling misunderstood, reclusiveness, frustration, rejecting assistance. Ooh, child, I think that's the one. Yearning, time for reassessment, pity parties, depression, cynicism, and self-absorbed individuals. I think the key phrase on this one is rejecting assistance. We ask for help. If you're still in the church, you're getting on your knees and you're praying. If you're spiritual, you're in your sacred space and you're reaching out to ancestors, your gods and goddesses, your deities, the Most High or the Creator of all, whatever you call whoever you reach out to. You're asking for assistance. And because they're bringing it in the way you don't want to see it, you don't want to accept it, you don't think should be giving it to you, you disregard it, you put your nose up in the air, and you say, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. But then you get right back on your knees, you get right back in your lotus position, and you're asking, and you're crying, and you're pleading, and you're begging, and you're seeking that answer. And whoever you're reaching out to is sending you the answer. But because it's not from the person or the way that you want them to send it, or the way that you want them to communicate it, or even the answer that you want to hear, you're wanting them to tell you that you're the bomb diggity and everything you do is right. When they're really trying to say is, you could have this if you would just do. You could be this if you would just go. You could amass this if you just did, or if you would just let this go, let him go, let her go. Be on your own for 30 days. Be on your own for 60, 90. Be on your own for this year. Just take a sabbatical and do you for a year. Because they're not telling you what you want to hear. Because they're not telling you or giving you the answer that you want them to give you. You're disregarding. You are disregarding. And look at her. Is she doing just what we do? Folding her arms, got her neck to the side, and rolling her eyes. Because she don't want to hear it. Until you tell me that I'm going to get him. Until you tell me that I'm going to have that. Until you tell me that I'm going to be a millionaire. Until you tell me I'm going to have a mansion. Until you tell me I'm going to have 4 cars in my driveway. I don't want to hear anything else. Until you give me what I want or tell me what I want to hear. Anything you tell me, I'm going to disregard it. And guess what? You're right where you are because you keep disregarding the advice, the suggestion, the answers that you are begging for. So there's no one to blame but you. And the reason why nobody's joining you in your pity party is because they can see it and they can't understand why it's right in front of your face and you're not getting it. I think that's what my ancestors were doing to me. My mother was trying to get my attention. And because I thought she was coming to me in a certain way, I thought I got what I needed to hear. And then she sent mother. And I knew when I was sitting there and all that came to me, I'm like, you were trying to tell me, but I only saw her the way I wanted to see her, which was as a sweet memory, not as one trying to warn me, not as one trying to tell me or even encourage me, because it wasn't about, spanking my hand or whooping me or anything. It was about letting me know, girl, what you have done, you were supposed to do. And the way you did it was the way you were supposed to do it. Trust the work that you did. And as soon as I got that from mother, I knew exactly who it was coming from. And I knew why she said it. So don't disregard those who are trying to help you. Don't disregard even the word or the message that they're trying to give you. Yes, it may hurt. It may make you mad because you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that you're good. You want to hear that you're great. You want to hear that you're going to be all that you know that you can be. Guess what you are? But that doesn't mean there isn't anything that you shouldn't tweak about yourself. There isn't anything that you should not correct about yourself. There isn't anything that you should not pay attention to or consider other than what you're already looking at. Last card. 10 of sticks. 10 of sticks. Right, let's get this one. 10 of sticks. Alright, again I'm going to hold it up as I read. 10 of sticks. An overburdened old woman climbs a hill to eat sisandra fruit. It's not a plant that's easy to find, but it is known as a wonderful fatigue fighter and anti-aging medicine. In the positive, it means load being lifted. Knowing when to ask for help. Wow, all these cards, they ain't playing this morning. Ancestors are not playing this morning, y'all. Okay, let me go back. Load being lifted. Knowing when to ask for help. Learning to delegate responsibilities. Focusing more on self-care and taking a day off. 10 of sticks. The key word or phrase in this one, and they all make sense, is delegate. Delegate some responsibility. We, especially as Black people, we are good. We see the vision, we see the mission, and we are ready to take it on all by ourselves. Because we've got so much to prove. And giving up some of that responsibility means, to us, sometimes it means that I'm not good enough to do it. I'm not good enough to bear it. I'm not enough that I could finish it all by myself. And while we do that, we give ourselves high blood pressure, we give ourselves hypertension, we give ourselves palpitations in our hearts. We do so much damage to ourselves that we really don't have to blame anybody else because we're doing it to ourselves. And if you're one of those people, you don't have to be Black. I'm talking to anybody who's listening or happen to tune into this. If you're one of those people who you are so proud of the work that you do and the way that you do your work that you are afraid to admit that you're overwhelmed, that you are afraid to ask for help, that you're even afraid to not just ask, but say, hey, I need you to take this. Hey, I need you to be responsible for that. I need you to go over here and do this for me. You're afraid because to you it looks like you're failing if you have to ask for help. You look like you are incapable if you can't do it all yourself. And that's a lie. The phrase